Ladies and gentlemen, this is DDS. Real fans, real sports talk, no BS. We're your hosts, Blake Melton, Bradley Newberry, and the man, Matthew Parker. Parker, what's up, dude?
Man, I'm ready for a big weekend of football. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Before we get to the weekend of football, we will take a quick glimpse back to last week since we did not have a reaction show. We're starting in Knoxville. The UT Vols lose 41-17 over the number one Georgia Bulldogs. It wasn't, not that we got shocked by this total, but did you have any thoughts, Coach Melton?
I think for me, as an SEC fan, as a Tennessee fan, Georgia's for real. We heard all about the defense, how amazing it was, and it was as advertised. Tennessee was able to put up, they still scored, up to a point, but their defense has speed that's just on a level that across the country is just unmatched, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we talked about the secondary being the weakness of Georgia, and it might be. But who knows when you don't have time to exploit them?
Yeah, literally, I think what we were looking at was an NFL defensive line.
They're good. And what I was questioning was, can Georgia score? And the answer is yes. They can throw it downfield. But looking at it through Tennessee eyes, most points put up against Georgia all year. It's trending the right way. Tennessee left a touchdown or two out there.
Yeah, they really did. And there's still. Georgia found the glaring hole in Tennessee's defense, and they can't stop the run, really. They don't have the depth to compete against a team like that. And, not shocked by the result by any means. I think Tennessee fought. It wasn't Hendon Hooker's best game. It was probably his worst game, quite frankly. But it still wasn't horrible, compared to some of the performances that we've had in the past by Tennessee quarterbacks. When we say they had a bad game, we're usually talking about, a couple picks and, a horrible, just horrible numbers all the way around. But,
could you give me more around the Milton? Because I must have checked out at that point of watching. I didn't even know Milton played in this game, to be honest with you. Was that just to get reps? Was there an injury?
No, I think what it is they wanted Hooker out of there because he was getting swarmed every time. I think it was a prevention of an injury, honestly, more than anything. And I think, he's still a college kid. I think he's a very mature college kid, but you don't want his psyche to get hurt playing against a defense that realistically he wasn't going to be able to beat. So that's I don't think there was anything behind Milton getting in there, and
save him for the next game.
Yeah, don't get hurt. We need to finish with 3 wins.
So, all right, moving on to this week, we have both teams coming into the game at 5-5. The 5-5 Southern Alabama, whomever they are, Jags. The Jags. USA versus the University of Tennessee Vols at 5-5. The line is hovering around 28. I don't have much here except that the Vols should roll in this game, right?
Yeah, University of South Alabama. I almost went there to play baseball.
You know who did go there? Former South Carolina quarterback Jake Bentley, who I believe is now hurt, right?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. He beat Tennessee 3 times, the starting quarterback for South Carolina. Also played for Utah. Got hurt about a week and a half ago.
This is like his 16th college season.
Yeah, I don't know how he's still. I was looking at him like, how's he playing?
He's probably got another COVID year too.
Good grief!
To be honest with you, this is honestly. It sounds silly, but this kind of feels like it's a little bit of. It's kind of a high point on the season that just shows that things are kind of going the right way for Tennessee, because in the past Bentley would play and he would beat us. This is the first year that we've had something little like this go our way, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, I'm not threatened by Jake Bentley or anything. We should still win. I don't care who they roll out there. But in the past, that would be something that I just feel like it would be just our luck.
I could feel that. Jake Bentley, before getting injured, 2,122 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 5 picks. So he was playing pretty efficient football, whatever that looks like for the Jags of USA.
Yeah, I mean, but they're in the Sun Belt. They're 2-5.
Right.
They're 2-5 in the Sun Belt. They have the best defense in the Sun Belt. They're playing this game in Knoxville. They haven't won a game away from South Alabama since week 2.
Damn.
It's not happening here either.
No.
No.
There's a 35-point win.
Hendon Hooker, 2,138 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 3 picks. You
gotta
can't
love
ask
those
for
numbers.
any more efficiency than that. It's very good. If anyone want to start, I got no more analysis.
I think this is a Tennessee victory. I would be shocked if it was anything less than a 3-score win.
Yeah, me too. I mean, if I'm throwing out scores, I'd say 38-7. But just this is what it should have been with the Samford game. It should.
Hey. We're going to talk about some history.
I couldn't help myself. But it should just be a pick your score kind of game.
Yeah, I'm going 40-14. I don't know how USA is going to get there, but 40-14. Balls.
Jeez.
Roll. Before we touch on this week's game, let's talk a little bit of history here, folks. The Florida Gators coming off a historic 70-point explosion last week versus Samford. But the problem was they gave up 529 yards and 52 points. What was that, Parker?
They paid them $525,000 to come score 52 points. I literally, I'm not joking, I'm not making this up. When I saw the score, I literally thought, was there some type of like game where the basketball team traveled?
Y'all thought I was crazy when I was telling y'all this. Bradley was like, man, it's the basketball
that's a
team.
basketball.
Probably.
They all traveled together.
They probably all came up together because they can't afford to fly up here.
I literally thought it, and I looked it up. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Because the score was changing every 2 minutes.
It would go up and it would go down.
That's a basketball game.
I literally looked because I did not believe it.
I mean, look. Hats off to Emory Jones, because if he does not have this type of game, y'all lose.
And Dan Mullen said so. He said, look.
He bailed y'all's ass out with over, it's over 500 yards of total offense on his own.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. If y'all don't score that many points, y'all get your ass beat by a team you should never lose to.
What's even more embarrassing to me is their quarterback. Sanford's quarterback put 400 yards.
He did whatever he wanted.
He did. He had 465 total yards. What do you say to that? I don't know how you defend your boy.
I don't know where the defense went. Heads have finally rolled.
On the field.
Heads have finally rolled in Gainesville, but where in the world did the defense go? Just start with the front seven. Defensive line and linebackers. Even if the secondary can't cover, where are those guys? I mean, there's nothing.
They had 4 cute quarterback hurries the whole game. They had the same amount as Florida.
Blake, you were mentioning if they lost this game, they should fire Dan Mullen on the field as a public firing. I saw, it just made it funny because I was watching on Twitter and it was trending about how they should fire him at halftime.
Whoa.
The 50-yard line, folks.
Just remember, because of Dan, Emory Jones was able to put up 550 total yards. 70 points.
That's so embarrassing.
That makes me afraid of this game. Both of these teams are 5-5 coming into an SEC battle for bowl eligibility. The 5-5 Gators at 5-5 Missouri Tigers. I'm as the Gator fan, I'm scared to death. There should be no reason why I'm writing down battle for bowl eligibility when I'm talking about the Florida Gators, but that's literally what this is. Bazelak's not injured anymore. He could have 450 yards of his own.
Yep.
The running back can pretty much do whatever he wants, apparently. All you got to do is the counter right play like LSU did and others. So I don't know. I don't know which of these defenses makes the stop, Parker.
Neither one of them. I mean,
yeah.
the Gators could win this for one reason. Their offense hasn't quit, and Missouri has yet to have a defense. But just like you said, Florida doesn't have a defense either. LSU, South Carolina, Samford, all of them could run whatever they wanted to. They all went off against Florida, and they haven't gone off really against anyone else. A loss here, and it may not even require a loss here, but a loss here I'm going to go say Mullen's done if he gets fired. If it loses here, but even if he doesn't, I think he should be fired alone on recruiting. The 2022 class rankings are out, and Florida comes in at number 23 right now. That's unacceptable. That's behind SEC South Carolina, Kentucky, Missouri, and it's tied with Rutgers.
Does Dan Mullen even want to be there, Bradley? That's my question. I mean, does he really just not want to be there?
I feel like Dan Mullen wants to coach there, but he doesn't want to work there, if that makes sense. I don't think he wants to put in the
Does he just want to be the OC?
It's not a bad thought. I think he likes the coaching.
Is that why he's rumored for an NFL job? You know, you don't have to do the recruiting. I don't know who would hire him.
I mean,
yeah, something doesn't feel right.
It just doesn't. It's such a weird thing. It's hard to even talk about, really. I mean, now, like I said, the only thing you got going for you is Missouri sucks. Missouri sucks, but hey,
no home field advantage.
So did Samford.
I mean, you set this up by saying you're scared to death of this game? Could you ever imagine saying that against Missouri?
No. This should have been a pencil it in for 42-10 and move on.
Yeah, and
but
I think
it's not.
At the beginning of the year, I think it would have been. I just don't know what happened between that LSU game and the whatever. Was it Tennessee before that? I don't remember, but it was whatever happened for the LSU game. They just went off the rails.
This is my thing that really worries me for this game with Florida is if by some miracle Missouri figures out how to make some stops, Florida could be in trouble.
Yeah, it was Florida beating UT, and then they lost at Kroger Field to Kentucky. That was the one.
That was the game.
And then they come out the next week and they're just throwing the ball all over Vandy for some reason.
Yeah, because
we got away from who they were in that game, and it's trickled the rest of the season.
We talked about that game. We thought maybe, hey, they're just throwing it to like work out some kinks, and they didn't. No, they didn't.
Change their entire philosophy.
Well, I mean, this is a game that they could get to that identity. I mean, Missouri has the 236th ranked defense, rushing defense in the country.
There's no. I mean, I don't think they run it. I think we've seen enough of it.
That's what scares me. I mean, it's like, what they have going for them too is Emory Jones is always a threat to just take off. So I think ultimately that's what's going to win out for them. I hope. You know, I mean, heaven forbid anybody gets hurt in this game, and then we got to have replacement folks come in. I don't know, man.
Richardson
I'm with
is still
you.
dancing somewhere.
It's this game scares me. It shouldn't, but Florida is the least impressive Florida team I think I've ever seen.
Do you have anything else? I'm ready to give my score.
I just was curious. He was mentioning Emory Jones running, and I was looking up, and it would take me a minute to do this. I was wondering how many games in a row he's led the team in rushing, because I know he led the team this week, and last week. Okay, no, he was close. He's only 13 yards off the team.
Giving Pierce the ball only 6 times. He's averaging almost 7 yards a carry. Give him the ball.
Yeah, go ahead. It's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm embarrassed to say this prediction, Blake. I'm going Gators 31-30. That's how close I think this garbage is.
I don't think you're that far off. I'm going to say 31-28. I'm thinking they win by a field goal.
Florida has lost 8 of 13. They've given up 175 points in the last 4 games. This Florida team's going to quit, and Missouri is still fighting. This will be an electric senior day in Columbia, maybe the only time they have a home field advantage. Missouri is bowl eligible after this game.
Oh, no. Say it ain't so.
38-28.
Oh, no. Woo! I wouldn't be shocked.
I just can't, man. They gave up 52 points to Samford.
They should not give up.
That's a
30
lot.
to
Hey,
Missouri.
that's a lot of pressure on your offense too, which is something that I hope that everybody's paying attention to. And I don't know that this Florida team can handle pressure.
So what's the over-under? Maybe that's what we should be looking at if you want to put $1 on it.
9.
No,
The over-under
for the score.
69. Excuse me, 69.
Hey, mine would be close then.
That seems high. Yeah,
I don't know. Does
I'm at
it?
60.
Does it seem high?
I mean, maybe not.
Florida beats that by themselves last week.
Yeah, they did. Oof. In historic fashion, the Florida Gators put up 70.
I was trying to look up, and I got bored. I was going down a rabbit hole trying to find the most points that Samford has ever scored against the FBS team.
I don't even know if they keep stats at Samford.
I was trying to find it. I gave up after.
I mean,
looking
I
for a
couldn't
while.
even find the freaking box score. I had to dig just to find that.
That's disgusting. What a disgusting.
It was a
game.
game that was so insignificant to Florida that they didn't even bother like putting any updates out on it. It was so hard to find updates until the fourth quarter when everybody was like, "Oh shit."
Who knows? Maybe we'll try to get another exclusive interview with Dan. He might have some more to say. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to move on to some
Yeah, both those games are disgusting.
Damn.
number 10 Wake Forest coming in at 9-1, going to Death Valley. And all of a sudden they're winning every game. 7-3 Clemson Tigers. Any initial thoughts about this one?
Wake has never gotten to 10 wins.
No. They have a chance to win that title, right? I don't think they've won since 2006.
And Clemson, on the other hand, haven't lost 3 conference games in over a decade. So something's going to change here.
Wake Forest is having a pretty special season too.
They are, man. I've got their quarterback, Sam Hartman, 3,168 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 8 picks. And then we got DJ. He's just lost. He's the last rated quarterback in the ACC.
You mentioned it, though, kind of like how the Florida game is going to be week on week. I like this one because it's going to be good on good, because it's Hartman who's having an awesome year. And as bad as this Clemson team has been, it's not because of their defense. Their defense is top 5.
Yeah.
Their defense is legit. And so it's going to be fun to watch Hartman versus that Clemson defense.
Yep. So the 45th rated overall defense in the country versus the 16th offense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am, like I said, Wake Forest is having a really special year. I have zero confidence in this Clemson Tiger team. Their defense is big time, in my opinion. But they're just so unimpressive on offense. They're just so unimpressive.
The thing that makes me look at this line is what Vegas is telling us. Last year, Clemson was a 35.5 point favorite in this game. And I know they lost quarterback. I know they lost running back. And I know they lost some other players. But no players are worth a 31-point swing. It's a crazy, crazy swing from last year. And something else Vegas is telling us is that the public is hardcore on Wake Forest, but the line is going the other way.
It sounds like a trap, Blake. Sounds like just a betting trap.
I'm going to fall right into it, I'm sure.
But
all I know is 165th rated overall offense.
That's bad.
Can we trust DJ enough to do this? Or is it just stay out of the way, DJ type of thing?
The defense could win this, right?
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm saying if Clemson won, if Clemson wins, it's because of defense.
Oh, it has to be.
That's what I'm saying.
It has to be because they've picked the ball and run it back.
So I want to know then, what do you want to say in your prediction? Go ahead and lay it out there.
This has been a special year for Wake Forest. This has been a bad year for Clemson. Judging by the body of work we have for both teams, I see no reason for either trend to stop. Demon Deacons take this one.
Wake.
What do we want or what are we picking?
So I'll tell you what I'm picking. Clemson has not lost a game at Death Valley since a 1-point loss to Pitt back in 2016. It's the longest active home winning streak in the nation. Clemson somehow wins 28-24.
A lot of points.
I want Wake to win just because chaos, bring it on. But I think this ends here. I think Clemson is just going to be too good defensively to win this or to lose this. I'm thinking it's going to be more like 21-14. But I do think Clemson wins the game. And think about it. We talked about Georgia's the best team in the country, right?
Yeah.
They lost to Georgia by 10-3. I know they had a really bad slide there, but they have looked better as of late.
Not good enough.
Yeah, offense has been really bad.
Underdog time where we will pick a team to win outright that by Vegas is not supposed to even be close in some occasions. Parker, have you identified such a team?
Yes, I'm going to my favorite state.
Oh.
Headed up to Iowa.
Oh, yes.
Iowa State over Oklahoma. The Iowa State offense, this is weird to say, is very good. It's not the offense we saw the first couple of weeks. This Oklahoma defense is by far the worst unit in this game. Oklahoma is 110th in passing down success rate. On the other hand, Iowa State defense matches up well against this Oklahoma offense. They're not going to hold them to nothing, don't get me wrong, but I think they're going to be able to limit them. This is Iowa State Super Bowl. I'd go as far as saying I think Iowa State should be favored in this game. Iowa State wins. Oklahoma's done.
Bye. He says he says goodbye.
Man, you made that point very concisely. I like that.
Did you find yours or you want me to go?
No, I did. I went with a game that was this is kind of a softball just because it's as close to a pick 'em as you can get, in my opinion. Baylor and Kansas State. Right now, Kansas State is favored. I think this will be a pretty good game, but I'm looking at Baylor's offense being the 35th overall ranked offense in the country. I think they're going to be able to get some stuff done against Kansas State. I don't think Kansas State can score with their 140th ranked offense in the country. I don't know. I know K-State's coming off a big win. I know they think they're riding high. I think this is a good spot for them to come down back to earth.
Yeah, it was brought to my attention that my pick is I'm going too much with the public, so I feel like I'm in trouble here.
Uh-oh.
I'm going with number 3, Oregon, on the road at Utah.
The Utes.
Gosh, they can clinch the North title. This is potentially a rematch for their little conference, and yes, I did say little conference championship. Oregon is 5th in the nation in third down conversion rate, but these teams are very similar offensively and defensively. Utah actually averages 35.7 points per game. Oregon coming in at 35.3 points per game. Something that I didn't realize was Utah has won 17 of its last 18 home games. So apparently there's something special going on with that stadium, Parker. What should I be afraid of with this Oregon underdog pick?
Well, one, you're right. 17 of 18. They haven't lost since 2018 in Utah, and the one loss was in a COVID year when there was nobody in the stands.
Whew. No one there.
The other thing, how weird is it to say Oregon and Utah are similar? It's true, though. It used to be, Oregon's run and gun, and now they're both heavy run teams. The thing that impresses me the most about this game is Oregon might have the number 1 defensive player in the country that's going to be the number 1 pick in Thibodeau, who should be able to get after the quarterback or running back. However, Utah, left tackle and right tackle, because Oregon lines Thibodeau up on both sides. The left tackle and right tackle for Utah has given up 0 sacks.
Of course.
All year long. But you never know. They did beat Ohio State.
They did. They went straight into their home and took it. I'll go ahead and start with the best bet since I might lose both of these. I'll leave the good picks for these guys down the table. I'm going with another underdog, though. This line is fluctuating between 11 and 10.5, so I'll just call it plus 10.5 here. I'm going with SMU plus 10.5 against Cincinnati. As we've been saying all year, Cincinnati, all they can do is just win big. I guess this is it for them. At number 5, they find themselves on the outside. Even if they win by 1 point, by 100 points, I'm not sure that it's enough to get into the top 4. SMU's quarterback is one that I've mentioned before on this show, Tanner Mordecai. Just remember that name whenever you're seeing what could be basketball-like scores, could be Florida versus Samford-like scores going up. But I'll side with SMU. I'll take the 10.5 points and put $1 on it.
Cincinnati hasn't covered in like 4 straight games. I think you're right. And I think you're right. I don't think Cincinnati can get in. If y'all remember years ago, TCU was the number 3 team or the early days of the BCS, and all the people thought they needed to go out was beat the team they played, and they won like 56-3 in the committee. In they dropped them from 3rd to like 5th.
Jeez.
But yeah, I'll go with the next one. I love the service academies. I'm on them all the time. I'm going with Navy plus 5 against Eastern Carolina. Eastern Carolina struggles against the run. Good luck with the triple option. I mean, Navy's coming off a bye. ECU's coming off an overtime against Memphis, a lot like Blake's was with Kansas State. This is just a letdown spot. Other than Memphis, ECU has not beat anyone. If you look at the record, Navy has won 2 games, but they've had as a service academy, they have a top 20 difficulty schedule, which is insane. I don't even think I need the points. I think Navy wins this. It would be their 6th straight win against ECU, but Navy plus 5. Best bet.
There you go. All right, I'm focusing a little bit more on a little higher profile game here with...
You don't like SMU and Navy?
Cincinnati. Come on.
Oh, jeez. Anyways, I'm looking at the Arkansas-Alabama game. Right now, Alabama's favored by 20.5. Over the course of the year, we've kind of seen Alabama's defense is kind of questionable. Is it really kind of the same Alabama defense that we've seen in years past? Kind of, some people would say it's not really much of a Nick Saban defense. I mean, obviously, oh, good Lord, I'm blanking on the quarterback for Alabama. Bryce Young. Bryce Young's having a fantastic year. But I think that these Razorbacks, I don't think they're going to win. But I do think that they are going to – this is one of the last times, if not the last time, that they're going to have a chance to make kind of a statement that they have officially arrived and they aren't, just a flash in the pan. I think that they can put up a fight here against Alabama. I think they have a good enough offense to score points and a good enough defense maybe to keep it kind of within arm's reach. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they keep it to 2 scores.
I hope they win.
Hey, there's an outside chance I say they win, but I do think that they really put up a fight, and they let the SEC know that they're for real.
I think Ole Miss will be hoping that they win.
I think this could be a game where if Pittman can make this a really close game, he could probably, say, hey, I'm the coach of the year.
Also, Alabama isn't Cincinnati. They don't need to win by 50.
No.
You get up by 21 or 14, and you're just like, hey, let's just run it. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, all the pieces are there for them to, be well within that 20.5.
I like it.
We're all taking dogs.
Strong
How about
picks.
that?
Yeah, we are.
Gentlemen, before we go,
I
was on your other podcast for a moment.
Yeah.
The Dad Code, and I got to sample some of your fine
Uh-oh.
hot sauce.
Uh-oh.
I come bearing gifts. I have 2 gifts. I have a third gift.
Oh, boy.
If you make it through these gifts. My first gift is actually really good. This is one of my favorite hot sauces. It's a Chipotle. It's mild. Dump as much of it on you want. Really good. Reminds me of the COT one we had.
Fantastic.
It's one of my favorite. I just happen to have an extra.
Okay.
Thought I'd bring it by to be nice on that one. This one, I might be a little bit more careful on. So this little guy.
Oh, it's in a coffin.
Oh, it is. It's in a coffin.
It's in a coffin.
I will not be sampling this with y'all, but I will leave it for you guys, and I have another one after this if you like it.
Gosh.
Oh, stay tuned to a different channel.
I'm like crying just looking at it because I just have a feeling we're going to be in some major pain. Anything that's in a coffin like that can't be award winning.
I don't know about that.
I see award winning written on the coffin. I don't know what that means, but it can't be good. It can't be good.
Oh, man.
Oh boy, you guys had better hang around for that.
Yeah. What are the parting thoughts? I got one now. Parting thought?
I got nothing.
I know what yours is. Mine is there could be a little coach in Gainesville that might need this coffin very soon. Dan, we're talking about you.
All right. Well, hey, guys. Thanks for joining us today. This is a combined reaction/pick show for the college version of this show here.
Tweet at him if you want some shirts.
Yeah, go ahead and reach out to us on Twitter at DDS Sports Talk. Let's get this conversation started here. What do you think? You think Arkansas is going to put up a fight against Alabama? Do you think they're going to have a chance to come out and maybe punch them in the mouth and win? Who knows? Anyways, we have some very hot-looking hot sauce here that we're going to be partaking in at some point. I don't know when. Be sure to check us out on the Dad Code Podcast on YouTube. Like and subscribe that channel as well as this one, DDS Sports Talk. Guys, anything else? Otherwise, we're about to go out here.
Let's go.
All right. Go Big Orange. You guys be well.